How often do we see these seen around us? Almost every day, right? In the heart of our cities lies the hidden danger. These pigeons that we spot every day are more than an eye-gazing sight. But what makes this a hidden danger? Pigeon droppings. Microscopic elements within these droppings contain allergens and pollutants that, when inhaled, can lead to a condition known as hypersensitivity pneumonitis. Seemingly harmless part of urban life can pose a serious threat to our lung health. This inflammation can lead to scarring, affecting the lung's ability to function properly over time.
Now, interstitial lung disease is a disease that affects the structure of the lung. And that's the area which actually transfers oxygen into our blood. So it's the most important part of the lung. The airways just carry the oxygen into our lung. The interstitium transfers the oxygen into our blood. And that interstitium, when it gets affected, we call it interstitial lung disease. And it can get affected in two ways. One, it can get swollen. We call it inflammation. And it can get scarred. We call it fibrosis. Out of a dozen patients I see in my clinic every day, half are ILD. The number of ILD patients I was seeing when I was a postgraduate 25 years ago has more than tripled today, more than tripled. ILDs are increasing across the world. The mortality due to ILD is increasing, and it's become the most common reason a patient goes for lung transplant, which is quite scary actually. You know that the commonest interstitial lung disease in India is hypersensitivity pneumonitis, or the fibrotic variety of hypersensitivity pneumonitis. This disease can be caused by pigeon dust excreta, that's one of the commonest. It can also be caused by fungal allergens in damp walls, unclean AC vents and air coolers, and just about many other causes of it. Atypical mycobacteria, which are there in hot tubs, wherever there's water, moisture and fungus accumulates, you have a higher risk of getting exposed to that antigen. Arguably one of the commonest causes in India at least is the pigeon, and it's the pigeon excreta that has an antigen in it which triggers the reaction in the lung. And this reaction is not an allergic reaction like you see in asthma. Sometimes even when you find the cause, the disease can still progress even after you take the patient away from the exposure. So it's a very challenging disease to treat. So this is a dangerous allergic reaction, what we call a type 3 allergic reaction. Asthma is a type 1 allergic reaction. Pneumonitis, chronic cough, breathlessness on exertion. And more often than not, they're mistakenly diagnosed and treated as asthma. So our youngest patient is 14 years old, you can imagine, and she's on oxygen while walking. Pigeon dust exposure. So 14, we have a 21-year-old. And just imagine looking at transplant and discussing all that. They're just in their college right now. So I think this whole issue of addressing the antigen, some of them live in small houses, damp walls, they can't even change their house. Fixing the walls is a cost to them. Some of them, for religious reasons, will not take away pigeon breeding areas in their building. And so we tell them, put a bird net on your window. There's someone feeding pigeons. So these are a huge issue. And if you go down, we have no idea how much is being mistreated as asthma in the rural areas with people who feed pigeons often. I recommend they stop feeding pigeons. Bird nets is what I recommend.
But the good news is, prevention is within our grasp. Wearing a mask, maintaining proper ventilation, and adopting regular cleaning practices can significantly reduce the risk of exposure. At Healthy Lungs, we believe in empowering you with knowledge and simple steps to safeguard your respiratory well-being.